Right.
Ready?
Yeah. For fuck's sake.
Let's do it.
Yeah, cool. Right, so back. Premier League predictions. Last week I took on Harrison and it got a bit tense because on the Wednesday night games it changed so much. At one point I was 12-6 up, then he was 6-3 up, and then because Llorente scored a last minute winner against Watford, it means I beat Harrison. So in the next video, most likely that you'll see, Harrison is giving me his phone for 5 minutes. Oh, that feels good. So, the way that the current standings are, we have still got Sam at top position. We've had him there for quite a few weeks now. So, I've brought someone in who might take over.
I hope so.
Ollie.
I hope so.
Been on the channel a few times. He's said a couple of famous lines like them in videos to come.
Can we find him a really nice girl? 6, come on. Honestly made me so depressed. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, so, Ollie, how do you think you're going to do?
I'm not too sure, to be fair. I've not even looked at the games this week, but I've got a little tactic that I'm going to keep hidden. So
okay,
we'll see how it goes.
Right, so the way that it goes, you surely know how it goes by now. It's 5 points for the correct score, 3 points for the correct result. So, yeah, we're going to get straight into it. We have got these Saturday games start off 1:30, Wembley, Tottenham Hotspur against Newcastle. Now, as I said before, Tottenham beat Watford the other night 2-1, and Newcastle beat Manchester City to blow the title race wide open. So, Ollie being a Liverpool fan, he obviously loved that. So, I think that Tottenham are going to beat Newcastle, well, purely because of how things went the other night. I'm going to go for a 3-1 Tottenham win.
See, Newcastle, they're on a good run at the moment. Tottenham, few injuries. I'm going to go with my Super 6 predictions that I've done already. So I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw.
Ooh.
1-1 draw. I know it's risky, but you know, you got to be risky if you want to get the points.
Yeah, of course. So, we move on to Palace against Fulham. Now, Palace drew against Southampton the other night. Wilfried Zaha getting sent off. And Fulham beat Cardiff 4-2, I think. So, yeah, despite the fact that Fulham did sort of walk over Cardiff. No, actually, they didn't play Cardiff. Who did they play? Shit.
What, Fulham?
Shit, who did they play? Brighton. They played Brighton. Christ, I'm an idiot. Yeah, so they beat Brighton 4-2. I think that it's going to be another loss for, I think it's going to be a loss for Fulham. I think that despite Zaha being out for Palace, I do think that there are going to be a couple of shining stars for them, so I'm going to go for a 2-1 Palace win.
We're going to have to follow Sonny on this one. Obviously, Palace signed Batshuayi in the deadline day for Palace, so I'm going to go, probably going to go the same actually. I'm going to go 2-1 to Palace.
Okay.
No, I'm going to change it. I'm going to go 2-0. 2-0.
Yeah. Yep, so we move on to our second 3 o'clock game at Turf Moor. We have Burnley against Southampton. Yep, like I said, Southampton, they drew against Palace at St Mary's the other night. Burnley drawing 2-2 against Manchester United at Old Trafford in the last minute again. I think Burnley's luck is starting to run out now, so I'm going to go for a 2-1 Southampton win.
Yeah, in the week, obviously, Burnley 2-0 up away at Old Trafford. Just a really poor result for them, obviously being 2-0 up and conceding 2 late goals. And Southampton, with the new coach, can only see a 3-1 win for Southampton.
Okay, so we move on to Chelsea against Huddersfield now. There's no other way I can really see this going, despite the fact that Chelsea got battered by Bournemouth the other night 4-0, and Huddersfield they lost against Everton 1-0. I'm going to go for an easy Chelsea win, and I'm going to go for 4-0, and I think that Huddersfield are going to be in deep trouble going into February.
Yeah, I agree with Sonny, to be fair. Although Chelsea lost quite convincingly against Bournemouth, Huddersfield obviously in a bad run of form, rock bottom of the league, probably favourites to go down. You have to go for a 5-0 Chelsea win.
5-0, shit.
5-0.
Oof. So we move on to Brighton against Watford. Now Brighton, as I said, lost against Fulham, and Watford lose against Tottenham. I do think that Watford are going to want to go back into form, and I think that Brighton is the perfect place to go for them. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 Watford win.
It's hard for me to sort of predict, to be fair. Both sides, I don't really know a lot about either side. Watford have got a few standout players in Delafeu, Deeney. It's a hard one for me because Brighton have got a goal scorer in Murray. They've got Knocker, who obviously isn't getting much game time at the moment, but you know he's one of them impact players. So I'm going to go for a 1-0 win for Watford.
Okay, so we move on to our final 3 o'clock game. We have Everton against Wolves. Now, Everton, as I said, beat Huddersfield, and Wolves beat West Ham 3-0. The game that I was in the press box for a couple of days ago was a phenomenal experience. I just want to reiterate that. So, yeah, Wolves, they completely obliterated us, but that was only because we offered nothing attacking-wise, so they just had free range against us, especially seeing as Anderson was very quiet. If you keep Anderson quiet, then you're laughing. So I'm going to go, despite the fact that Wolves did beat us quite convincingly, I'm going to go for an Everton win. I'm going 2-1.
Well, Wolves, they've been one of the better teams that have come up from the Championship. Obviously, they're sitting in the top half of the league, and Everton obviously haven't been in a great run of form since the Van Dijk incident in the Merseyside derby. They've had a few, very various errors in the games that they've had since that. But they've got the players, they've got the quality, and so have Wolves, to be fair. So I'm going to think it's going to be an evenly contested match. So I'm going to go with a 2-2. 2-2 Everton Wolves. Yeah.
So it matches the result from the opening game of the season then.
Yeah, I'm going to go with that. Yeah.
Cool.
Pretty confident with that.
Right, so we move on to the late kickoff on Saturday. We have Cardiff at home to Bournemouth. Now, Bournemouth, as I said, they beat Chelsea quite convincingly 4-0, while Cardiff lost in an emotional game against Arsenal 2-1. I think Bournemouth are going to want to continue what they've got going on, especially beating West Ham and Chelsea both at home within a matter of weeks of each other. And there's no reason why they shouldn't carry this on. So I'm thinking that Bournemouth are going to take this, but I think Cardiff are going to try to bring it back, but they won't do it enough. So I'm going to go for a 3-1 Bournemouth win.
Yeah, like Sonny said, obviously great result for Bournemouth in the week, beating Chelsea 4-0. Cardiff, similar to Huddersfield, aren't in the best run of form at the moment. Obviously with the recent happenings, obviously they're going to be a little bit under threat to Bournemouth. Obviously Bournemouth on such a high with Cardiff on such a low. I'm going to go with a 2-0 victory for Eddie Howe's team. I think they're going to come away with the points. They've got the quality compared to Cardiff. Obviously Cardiff not in the best run of form at the moment, so I feel like Bournemouth have got a relatively comfortable victory within their grasp there.
So we are done with the Saturday games. We've got 2 Sunday games and a Monday night game. Start with the 2:05 kickoff on the Sunday. Leicester City against Manchester United. Now Leicester drew against Liverpool at Anfield, which sort of kept the title race in the balance, with Manchester City still possibly going for it. But there's a 4-point gap now, I think. It's a 5-point gap. So so Leicester City obviously trying to keep whatever pressure they've got left on the top 6. I think that Manchester United, despite drawing against Burnley and losing that 100% record under Solskjaer, I'm thinking that Manchester United are going to go away with the win on this one. So I'm going to go for a 3-1 Manchester United win.
Same again. I think I'm going to follow Solskjaer on this one. Obviously, United still yet to lose under Solskjaer. Obviously, Leicester had a great result in the week against the Premier League's best team, Liverpool. So, yeah, I'm going to follow Sonny on this one. I'm going to go for a 2-0 victory for Man United. They're in great form at the moment. All the players, since Mourinho has left, all the players seem to want to play for the manager, and I feel as though, Leicester, although they were a difficult task for Liverpool, for United, I feel like United are going to wipe the floor with them just due to the current form that they've got at the moment.
Okay, so one last game for the Sunday at 4:30. We travel to the Etihad for Manchester City against Arsenal. Probably one of the biggest games of the weekend. Manchester City, as I said, lost 2-1 against Newcastle, while Arsenal beat Cardiff 2-1. If Manchester City win, then obviously they keep up with Liverpool. If they draw, then they've still got a chance, but if they lose, then it could well be out of reach within the next few games if results don't go their way, obviously. But I do think that Manchester City will keep the pressure on Liverpool, and I'm going to go for a 2-0 Manchester City win.
Well, obviously, I'm hoping that Arsenal beat them quite convincingly, being a Liverpool fan. But City, you know, they've been up there despite the poor result in the week against Newcastle. They were really poor, you know, players that you'd expect them to be affecting the game. They weren't affecting the game, they weren't troubling the Newcastle defence. But Arsenal, you know, they've not had a great season, to be fair. It's sort of a transitional season under Emery. So it's a tough one to call, but I think City, with that home advantage as well, despite the crowd being not the best, I'm going to go with a 1-0 victory for Manchester City.
Ooh, tight.
Tight game.
Yeah. And for our final game, we have West Ham, my boys, against Ollie's Liverpool. Now, as Ollie is the guest, I'll let him sort of take over now. Just your thoughts on the game?
Well, obviously, we've only lost once all season. It'll be a tough game, like every game is in the run-up to the end of the season. Obviously, for us, it was a comfortable 4-0 victory for us in the first game. And I'm predicting a similar result here. West Ham, obviously, they've got some great players in Arnautovic and Anderson. But I feel like with Van Dijk at the back, and then obviously the return of Trent Alexander-Arnold, hopefully anyway, I feel like we'll be more defensively sound, and I think we'll run out 3-0 victory.
Yeah, so as Ollie said, this is the reverse fixture of the 4-0 drubbing on the opening day of the season. And as I mentioned, West Ham lost 3-0 against Wolves the other night at the Molineux. Like I've said, Arnautovic has caused a bit of a toxic atmosphere within the club, and it's showing on the pitch. Just the way that he's sort of acting, and then you're getting the reaction of the other players. It just seems like there's no sort of connection between them, and it is slowly but surely killing what team spirit we had left. Bearing in mind that we sacrificed the FA Cup to field a strong side against Wolves, which obviously backfired. Yeah, it was a stupid thing. So yeah, I'm gonna go for a 3-1 Liverpool win for no reason other than it's a toxic atmosphere. So yeah, I think Liverpool are gonna pull away for the title race a bit, which I'm actually not impressed by, because I've made a bet with a Liverpool fan that if they win the league, this is going red. So yeah,
I think it'll suit you, to be fair.
I don't think it will. I think I'll look like a red-haired lesbian. No.
No.
Oh god.
I think it'll look alright.
Yeah. So that is the end of our predictions. Ollie, do you think you're going to get on? Because we've actually gone for some similar results. If the results go our way, then it could be pretty tight for this week.
Sam Jones, I'm coming for you. That's what I'm saying.
Yes, love that. So yeah, I think that is about it. Obviously, I'll leave Ollie's links.
Just the Twitter
down there. Yep, the Twitter link will be down there. So yeah, if you guys did enjoy, then
fuck me!
See you guys in the next video.
Bye.
you twat. You twat. You